Welcome to a world where objects hold terrifying secrets and cursed destinies. Today, we'll uncover the spine-chilling tales of cursed items that have brought misfortune to their owners. From haunted dolls to ominous artifacts, these seemingly innocent objects have led to some truly horrific fates. Join us as we delve into the history and horror of these cursed treasures. Are you brave enough to explore the darkness with us? In the quaint yet eerie countryside of North Yorkshire, a sinister tale lurks, casting a dark shadow over its charming landscape. Here, in the village of Carlton Miniot, a seemingly ordinary object, a chair, became the centerpiece of a malevolent legend that has haunted the area for centuries. This is the story of the cursed Busby Stoop chair. Our story begins at the now-lost Busby Stoop Inn, once a bustling coaching inn and a meeting place for weary travellers. The inn, built in the 17th century, was a place of warmth and camaraderie where travellers could share tales of their journeys over pints of ale. But beneath its inviting facade lies a dark history, steeped in betrayal and violence. The tale centres on Thomas Busby, a man notorious for his drunken rages and ruthless behaviour. He was described as a figure with wild eyes, often seen staggering through the inn, his temper flaring over the smallest slight. When he married Elizabeth Orty, the daughter of the local coin clipper Daniel Orty, their lives spiralled into a dangerous partnership. Elizabeth, a beauty known for her kind heart, tried to soothe her husband's volatile nature, but it was a losing battle. Busby and Elizabeth became embroiled in a web of counterfeit coin forging, crafting their nefarious trade in a hidden cellar beneath the inn. Their lives seemed intertwined with crime and deception, but it was Thomas's violent temper that would ultimately seal their fates. One fateful night, a confrontation loomed. Daniel Orty, fueled by a father's protective instincts, entered the inn with a dark intention: to forcibly remove his daughter from Busby's grasp. He believed Elizabeth deserved better than the life she was leading, a life marred by her husband's cruelty. But when Orty found himself seated in Busby's favourite chair, the stage was set for a horrific showdown. As the two men exchanged heated words, Elizabeth pleaded with her husband to calm down. But Busby, consumed by rage, couldn't contain himself. The argument escalated into violence. In a brutal frenzy, Busby grabbed a hammer used for forging coins and bludgeoned Orty to death. The inn was filled with the sounds of struggle, muffled cries, and the final sickening thud as Orty's life slipped away. The patrons of the inn, once laughing and sharing stories, fell silent, paralysed by shock. In a panic, Busby dragged the lifeless body into the nearby woods, leaving behind a chilling trail of blood that marked his descent into madness. The town would soon awaken to the horror that had unfolded within the walls of the inn. When the authorities arrived, they quickly pieced together the gruesome story. Busby's trial was swift and merciless. In 1702, he was found guilty of murder and sentenced to hang. His lifeless body was displayed in a gibbet cage at a crossroads, serving as a grotesque warning for all who passed. Yet, before the noose tightened around his neck, Busby uttered a chilling curse: "Death shall come swiftly to anyone who dares sit in my chair." This malevolent proclamation would echo through the ages, casting a long shadow over the Busby Stoop chair. For years, the chair remained in the inn, seemingly innocent, yet harbouring an unspeakable darkness. The inn changed hands and transformed many times, eventually becoming the Jolly Spice restaurant. Despite the shift in ownership, the curse's sinister reputation lingered like a storm cloud ready to unleash its fury. As the years went by, tales of the chair's curse began to emerge. One of the earliest recorded incidents occurred in 1894, when a chimney sweep, completely unaware of the curse, sat in the chair, only to be found hanging the next day. The legend began to take root, whispering through the village like a ghostly breeze. Locals began to warn travellers, telling them to avoid the cursed chair at all costs. The curse didn't stop there. During World War II, the chair's ominous reputation spread among Royal Canadian Air Force personnel stationed nearby. Legends told that any airman who dared to sit in the Busby Stoop chair would never return from their missions. This macabre game of dares led to tragic consequences. One by one, airmen vanished, leaving behind grieving friends and a growing sense of dread. In the dimly lit bars where the airmen gathered, the chair became the focus of dark humour and reckless bravado. They would challenge each other, daring one another to sit in the cursed chair, but the laughter quickly faded when one airman sat down and never returned from his next mission. The whispers grew louder, filled with the unshakable feeling that the chair was no mere object, but a gateway to something far more sinister. In 1968, Tony Earnshaw took over the inn. Initially, he dismissed the stories as mere folklore, the stuff of local legend. However, his skepticism was soon shattered in the most horrifying way. One evening, two soldiers, emboldened by a night of drinking, dared each other to sit in the chair. Moments later, they left the inn, laughing and boasting, but tragedy struck when they died in a horrific car crash just minutes later. This event shook Earnshaw to his core, but he still held onto a thread of disbelief until the next incident. A builder, feeling invincible after downing a few drinks, sat in the chair, laughing off the curse. But that night, he fell to his death from a construction site. The cycle of misfortune was relentless, and the dread surrounding the chair became palpable. Determined to break the curse, Earnshaw moved the chair to the inn's basement, thinking that perhaps distance would lessen its grip on the living. But as he delved deeper into the inn's haunted past, he uncovered a chilling pattern. Every incident involving local families seemed to end in tragedy. Each tale added to the dark legacy of the chair, weaving a tapestry of despair that hung over Carlton Miniot like a thick fog. The final straw came in 1978, when a brewery inspector, oblivious to the tales of horror, sat in the chair. Shortly after, he tragically died in a car accident. This pushed Earnshaw to donate the chair to Thirsk Museum, but with one crucial stipulation: it must never be used again. The museum took heed, placing the chair behind glass, but still, the whispers of its curse continued to echo among visitors. Since its relocation, the legend of the Busby Stoop chair has captivated both local and international media, intensifying its eerie mystique. Journalists, paranormal investigators, and thrill seekers have flocked to the museum, drawn by the haunting history of the cursed chair. Many have attempted to capture its essence through photographs, only to find their cameras malfunctioning in its presence. Now, let us turn our attention to a different kind of horror: the infamous Hope Diamond. This gemstone, renowned for its mesmerizing beauty, weighs an astounding 45.52 carats, making it one of the largest blue diamonds in existence. Its deep blue hue, attributed to the presence of boron, captivates all who behold it. However, beneath this facade of elegance lies a chilling history that intertwines with tales of tragedy and misfortune. The Hope Diamond is believed to have originated in the Golconda mines of India, once the source of the world's most remarkable gems. Its story begins in the 17th century, when it was known as the Tavernier Blue, named after the French gem merchant Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, who brought it to Europe in 1666. Tavernier's journey was not merely a trade, it was the beginning of a legacy steeped in darkness. Tavernier's adventure took him through treacherous paths, where he faced threats from bandits and the unforgiving landscape. Yet, nothing could compare to the fate awaiting the diamond and its future owners. Tavernier sold the diamond to King Louis XIV of France, who had it recut into the stunning gem we know today as the Hope Diamond. The king wore it proudly, but soon the dark undercurrents of its history began to surface. Louis XIV's reign was marked by opulence and excess, but it was also a time of immense upheaval. The French Revolution led to the downfall of the monarchy, and many royal treasures were lost or destroyed in the chaos. The Hope Diamond was stolen during this turmoil, vanishing from the public eye for years. Its disappearance was a harbinger of the misfortune that lay ahead, a sign that the diamond was not simply a jewel, but a harbinger of doom. It was not until the 19th century that the diamond resurfaced, and it was then that its notorious reputation truly began to take shape. The first notable incident involved its next significant owner, a wealthy banker named Henry Philip Hope. After acquiring the gem, he faced a cascade of misfortunes. financial ruin, illness, and death claimed his family one by one. The diamond seemed to bring a wave of bad luck, leading many to speculate that it was cursed. The curse didn't stop there. One of its most notorious owners was Evelyn Walsh McLean, an American socialite who purchased the diamond in the early 20th century. Her life was marred by a series of personal tragedies. Her son, who was just a teenager, died in a car accident, and her husband struggled with mental health issues, leading to a divorce. Evelyn's fortune diminished rapidly, and she lost her home. The diamond became a symbol of her misfortunes, and she was rumoured to have walked around wearing it in a headband, perhaps trying to assert some control over the chaos that surrounded her. The diamond's dark legacy doesn't end there. After Evelyn's death in 1947, the Hope diamond was sold to a jeweller named Harry Winston. Winston was well known for his opulent creations, but he too encountered misfortune. His home was robbed of other valuable jewels, and the Hope diamond became synonymous with danger and intrigue. People close to Winston also faced their share of tragedy. Friends and associates suffered from sudden accidents and health issues. Throughout its history, the Hope diamond has been linked to numerous tragic events. People associated with the diamond often met untimely ends or faced severe hardships. Some have even reported strange occurrences related to the diamond, like inexplicable feelings of dread or foreboding when in its presence. The gemstone has changed hands numerous times, each new owner unwittingly stepping into a web of misfortune. As the diamond made its way into the Smithsonian Institution, its legend only grew. Visitors flock to see its mesmerizing beauty, yet many leave feeling an inexplicable chill. Some claim to have felt a sense of unease, while others swear they heard whispers when standing near the display. The Hope diamond, with all its beauty, serves as a chilling reminder that not all treasures bring joy. Whether it be the Busby Stoop chair or the Hope diamond, these cursed objects remind us of the shadows lurking behind the most beautiful facades. They embody the chilling truth that some legacies are stained by blood, loss, and despair. So, the next time you encounter an artifact of beauty, remember the stories it might carry, for beneath the surface lies a world of horrors waiting to be unveiled.